For refusing to pay for my girlfriend's plane ticket after she decided to stay longer on her trip without me.
How do you feel about like couples who travel separately?
Oh, what he won't do, another man will. Yes, I know that.
Is it just me, but are women not being rewarded for literally breaking up their homes, causing chaos, stripping their kids away from a two-parent household?
Black women think everything is bashing, which is why we're at the bottom and we'll stay at the bottom.
Welcome to the channel. We got some more reactions for you. Hit that subscribe button so we can run it up to 10,000. Let's go.
For refusing to pay for my girlfriend's plane ticket after she decided to stay longer on her trip without me. Everything was great until the last day when she tells me she wants to stay longer to find herself and think about our relationship without me. She didn't discuss this.
Oh my.
She didn't discuss this with me beforehand, and it completely blindsided me. I was hurt, and I told her that if she feels that she needs time alone, then she should also be independent financially during this extension of her trip. I said I wouldn't be paying for her return ticket whenever she decides to come back. Now she's upset, calling me unsupportive and selfish. Some of our friends are saying I'm being an a-hole because I left her stranded in a foreign country without financial help. So Reddit, am I the refusing to pay for a new plane ticket home after she chose to extend her trip without any heads up? As I was talking to my mom, my girlfriend showed up. I guess she thought I was bluffing, but had a rude awakening when the hotel staff kicked her out of the room because I only paid through the day. I took no small amount of satisfaction in this, not gonna lie. She's been so concerned about the plane ticket that she didn't even stop to think about where she was going to stay.
Oh my, that's...
As many of you have guessed, she met someone while we were in Italy.
Oh no.
We didn't even think about that. We probably should have.
Well, yeah, keep going.
Anytime someone says, I gotta find myself, it's just focus on yourself.
Freaking
I gotta find myself under somebody else.
Paolo,
Yeah.
man.
That's what it
Paolo,
is.
man.
Lizzie and Paolo.
Yeah, that's crazy.
She was quick to tell me that it was just a physical attraction and that they hadn't done anything, but she had his and was wanting to see if it'd go anywhere. I guess that's what I get for not feeling well and wanting to stay in one night while she went out to explore. Obviously, I told her things were over between us.
One night.
Even though she tried to make it sound like nothing had happened. The fact was, A, I couldn't feel like I could trust her when she said that, and B, I don't really want to be with someone who feels like it's okay to still keep her options open when she's been in a monogamous relationship for the past 2 years. And she tried really hard to give another pitch of why we should stay together on
One night out of a 2-year relationship. It only took one night away from you for her to make all these feelings, all these things are starting to dredge up. One night. Man, that reminds me of a dog that you don't never let outside. And the second they get a chance, boom! Now they're lost and found.
the drive home from the airport. I think as we got closer to home, reality started setting in and she realized she'd just thrown a lot away. So here's the update. We're both back in America now and she's packing her to go stay with her family for a bit until she can find a new place.
First of all, good for you that you knew your worth. Second, those are not your friends. The one that was saying you were being a jerk because you didn't want to finance your own breakup. You got to be kidding me. Man, and all it took was one night. One night. I've never been to Italy. Comment down below. Is it that magical to where it'll make you throw away everything that you have? I thought it was France. Guess I got to check out Italy.
How do you feel about like couples who travel separately?
I feel like it's not for everybody. I think it really depends on the status of your relationship and where you guys are at. Do you feel like you're in a good, safe place, a healthy place where you feel like I can trust you enough to go and be without me for a few days in a whole nother country, state, continent, whatever. That trust has to be there ultimately because that's really what it comes down to.
Right.
And you have to be comfortable with having that separation time with your partner. If you can't, have that separation time with your partner where they could just go out and have dinner or something with their friends, let alone a whole vacation. It gives you that time to, again, separate. And then you kind of miss your partner when you're away, especially when you're truly far away. And there's nothing more that I want than for her to miss me.
The big question to me is, why are you traveling without your partner? Sometimes it's happened. I'm not saying in every case it's a no-no, But generally, don't you want to travel with your partner? Like she said, I'm going to miss her when I'm here. I thought that was funny that you're out on this exotic location and now you're missing somebody at home. You know, the one stuck at home working, cleaning up. It's probably cold. You know, that person, you miss them. They're the one missing out on something. I could see a scenario to where if you have kids and they're younger and it's just too much to coordinate, or you got this big family and all of a sudden a quick trip is costing a lot. As long as it's not like some type of girls trip or something like that, I can get on board with separate vacations, but limited. And like she said, it depends on where you are in your relationship. Generally, no. I want to go too.
Oh, what he won't do, another man will. Yes, I know that, but I want him to do it. I know someone else is capable of doing it, but I don't want them to do it. I want him to do it. You know what I mean? Like, yes, I'm aware that someone else can do it, but I don't want them to do it.
I felt like I was about to get hit through the screen. I mean, was it the bucking or was it the little fist that she was making? Man, we gotta get in contact with her boyfriend. He needs to blink twice if he needs some help.
Is it just me, but are women not being rewarded for literally breaking up their homes, causing chaos, stripping their kids away from a two-parent household, and literally destabilizing the fathers in the process? Am I the only one that feels like this? Let me explain. Can someone explain to me how it's fair that women have the choice to leave their marriages, they plan ahead, they stack money, they lie, some of them even cheat, some of them make an exit plan for months and lie behind their husbands' backs for literal months, sometimes even years, or check out of a relationship. And then she's actually rewarded for it because now he has to pay her way and he essentially has to pay for two households based on her poor choice. How is that fair? And how is it in the best interest of the children if you're going to destabilize dad's house so much that he now has to pay for two households and he has to maintain her lifestyle? And what's crazy is that these men are so strapped for cash because the court systems are literally prioritizing the mother's household over the father's household, even if they have 50-50. There's just no freaking way that this is fair. Why are the moms consistently prioritized over the fathers and the fathers get the crappy end of the stick? Even though their houses are equally as important to the children. And not only that is that these women never want to go back to court to modify the situation. They will literally emotionally destabilize the dads, and they never want to go back to court to modify child support to make it lower. In fact, if he gets a better paying job or he is doing better in life, all of a sudden she's slapping him with a bigger child support payment. And the funny thing about it is women will always preach that, like, you're a deadbeat dad if you emotionally destabilize the mother of your children, but it's okay when they do it. It's okay when they destabilize the fathers to a point where they're living in a one-bedroom apartment that's 600 square feet with nothing, just trying to make ends meet. And these fathers are literally never considered in the same capacity as the mothers, even though they're equally as important. And it's always interesting to me that women always claim that they need all of this money, but when they were married and they made the household work off $2,000, it was perfectly fine. Now all of a sudden these women claim that they need more and more money, and they claim that they need all of this freaking money, but the reality is that they are expecting their ex-husbands to pay their way for the rest of their lives and use their children as pawns. These women are expecting a full income, even though they basically quit their job. They think they deserve a severance package for walking out on you. And what's even crazier is she actually has the audacity when she gets that child support number to cry that it's not enough. And she says dumb shit like, what about my rent? What about my rent? Well, if you are expected to pay 50% of your way and he's expected to pay 50%, then why do you need rent? So if he's paying most of your child support and most of your rent, then how are you contributing to your own children? That man is not responsible for your rent. If your ex is expected to pay his own way and pay for his own rent and his utilities, then the expectation for you is exactly the same. It's quite of an incentive to break up your entire family, create a broken home, knowing well that your ex-husband is now responsible for two households. And what's crazy is that these women have the audacity to get all bent out of shape when you ask them where the money is going, as if you're not literally funding their entire lives. Because we all know well that she's not spending all of that money on the children. She just makes poor financial decisions and spends it on her hair, her nails, and anything to prioritize herself as self-care because she deserves it. And we all know she doesn't need as much money as she claims. And the sad reality is that men have two options. They can either continue to fight a battle that was up against them in the first place and spend thousands and thousands of dollars trying to modify it to make it fair for a system that was up against them in the first place, or they can forfeit altogether and be considered a deadbeat. Okay, bye.
Man, I gotta apologize to you fellas because I should have put like a trigger warning or something up there because I know that hit home with somebody. I know that hit home. Yeah, she must have some brothers or something because she was speaking like from the heart, like she gets it. And I don't go into conspiracy theories or a lot of political things on this channel, but hey, where does she live? We need to get her in office so she can make some change.
Black women think everything is bashing, which is why we're at the bottom and we'll stay at the bottom, right? Everything is bashing. Anytime we call out behaviors that are not appropriate, that does not make us look good, does not add to the positive reputation of Black women, it's always bashing. It's always tearing us down. So the question is, once again, who can correct us? How are we going to move forward and come up from the bottom if we see everything as bashing? Everything. We want to be treated like kids and adults at the same time. Like you want to be both. You want to act like a grown woman, dress like a grown woman, but then have the accountability of a child. Be talked to like a child. Be treated like a child. When you don't want to be accountable, and it becomes, you're hurting my feelings. You didn't think about how you look when you went outside like that. You didn't care what people thought at that time. But when somebody calls you out, oh, that's not nice, right? And this is the problem within our community. We are the most offended, but do the most offending. Like, it doesn't make sense. And it's so sad and it's so frustrating because it's like, we're at the bottom. Whether y'all want to believe it or not, numbers wise, we are at the bottom statistically. And we can't come up from it if everything is deemed as bashing. We can't be corrected. So how do we change this? Seriously, how do we change it?
Man, what are the odds? 2 for 2. 2 ladies in a row that just get it. I don't think what she was saying is exclusive to just Black women. I think it's women in general that kind of play that role as well. But to her point of saying that they're at the bottom and you need to work on yourself and work your way through it. If you want things to change, hey, you got to do a little self-reflecting, and you want a man that's a leader, well, let him lead you to a better life. And I'm going to lead you to that subscribe button. I'll catch you on the next one.